Hello, knowledge seekers. In this episode of 20-Minute Books, we dive into The Stress Code by Richard Sutton. This revelatory book sheds light on stress, an omnipresent aspect of modern life that affects our health, well-being, and productivity. Sutton combines his expertise as a health and performance consultant with cutting-edge research to explore the detrimental impact of stress on our physical health and the global economy. But more importantly, he offers science-backed strategies for effective stress management. These strategies are designed not just to help us cope, but to thrive, unlocking our potential both personally and professionally. The Stress Code is a must-read for anyone feeling overwhelmed by the demands of daily life, from professionals struggling to find a work-life balance to individuals recovering from chronic stress. Sutton's credentials are impressive, having advised Olympic teams, top athletes, and international sports federations on pain management and athletic development. His consultancy work also extends to leading corporations, where he focuses on developing stress resilience, boosting employee engagement, and enhancing productivity. Join us to unpack how Sutton's insights can help transform stress from a debilitating force into an opportunity for growth and success. Whether you're looking to improve your mental and physical health or achieve new heights in your career, the Stress Code offers the tools you need to navigate the complexities of modern life with ease and confidence. The Stress Code: From Surviving to Thriving, a Scientific Model. Introduction: Unlock the power of stress to enhance your life and reach your peak potential. In the rush and hustle of today's world, stress has become as common as the air we breathe. We dash from one commitment to another, cut corners on sleep, and extend our working hours into the late night to keep up with endless demands. It's no surprise, then, that we find ourselves more stressed now than at any other time in history. This escalation in stress is not without consequences, leading to immediate troubles like anxiety, weight gain, and a drop in our mental performance. Dig a little deeper, and the long-term hazards of stress reveal themselves, including serious health risks such as heart attacks, strokes, and even a reduction in lifespan. Yet, there's a silver lining to this cloud of stress. When managed correctly, stress can actually be a catalyst for growth, propelling us toward our highest aspirations and achievements. It's the heart-pounding moments of a job interview or the adrenaline rush in times of crisis that test our mettle and sharpen our problem-solving abilities. So, the answer isn't to escape stress entirely, an endeavor that is all but impossible, but to learn how to channel it positively and productively. This journey into understanding stress will not only highlight the pivotal role stress plays in our lives, but also offer strategies on how to transform it from a foe to an ally. By the end of this exploration, you'll discover the key drivers of stress in today's fast-paced world, how elite athletes can teach us valuable lessons in stress management, and the surprising benefits of moderate stress in helping you achieve your objectives. By re-evaluating our relationship with stress and learning to harness its energy, we open up new pathways to health and fulfillment, allowing us to unlock our full potential both personally and professionally. Let's embark on this transformative journey together, turning stress into a powerful tool in our quest for success. Part 1. The quest for success in a high-speed world is elevating our stress levels. In an age where the mantra of more is better dominates, our collective stress meter is hitting new highs. Health gurus and wellness coaches across the globe urge us to put on the brakes, advocating for vacations, a sharpened focus on work-life balance, and the adoption of calming practices like yoga and meditation. Despite these efforts, many of us find ourselves resorting to medication in a bid to find some semblance of peace or a good night's sleep. This brings us to a pressing question: what's fueling this epidemic of stress? At the heart of our stress conundrum lies our relentless pursuit of achievement and a world that spins faster with each passing day. Richard Sutton, in his insightful exploration, points out a fundamental truth. Our well-being hinges on our capacity to strike a balance between periods of high energy and relaxation, between doing and being. Yet, the way we live now throws this delicate equilibrium into turmoil. Our hyperconnected existence, tethered to smartphones and laptops, blurs the lines between work and rest. Night or day, we're on call, swamped with emails, work demands, and social obligations that stretch us thin. Unsurprisingly, the list of tasks grows longer, while time earmarked for self-care dwindles. Compounding this issue is society's glorification of success and its diminishing tolerance for failure. Driven by a collective aspiration to excel and outdo, we push ourselves harder and further. The culture of competition tightens its grip, heralding an era of longer hours, shrinking vacations, and a relentless drive towards more. It should come as no shock, then, that stress levels are not just climbing, they're exploding. Supporting this grim picture, studies from prestigious institutions like Yale University School of Medicine and the University of California, Los Angeles, reveal that people in developed societies grapple with 4 to 5 bouts of stress weekly on average. Navigating life increasingly resembles a precarious tightrope walk, with personal and professional demands constantly threatening to tip us over. It's clear that mastering stress management is not just beneficial but essential. The following insights will delve into how we can transform stress from a formidable adversary into a powerful ally in our journey through life. Part 2. The Illusion of Control. Unraveling the Roots of Workplace Stress. It's hardly headline news that our jobs serve as the main fountainhead of stress. The endless chase for deadlines, coupled with the shrinking boundary between work and personal time, leaves many feeling like they're on a perpetual treadmill. But have you ever paused to ponder exactly what it is about our jobs that cranks up the stress dial to 11? The crux of workplace stress, it turns out, revolves around a simple yet profound concept: the feeling of being out of control. Dive back to the pivotal Whitehall studies initiated in 1967 by Professor Michael Marmot, which tracked the health trajectories of 28,000 British civil servants over 4 decades. These groundbreaking investigations shed light on how stress at work doesn't just fray our nerves. It carves deep marks into our overall health and can even trim years off our lives. One might hastily assume that the higher-ups in an organization bear the brunt of stress, burdened by their labyrinth of responsibilities and the steep cost of errors. But the Whitehall studies unveiled a counterintuitive reality. It was the lower-ranking employees who found themselves ensnared in the thickest webs of stress, marred by poorer health and a starkly higher mortality risk. A startling 300% more than their superiors, to be exact. So, what stands at the heart of this discrepancy? A deeper dive revealed that lower-ranking employees often found themselves adrift in a sea of monotonous tasks, lacking both in social support and, crucially, in autonomy over their work decisions. Starkly contrasted with the higher ranks who enjoyed a broader spectrum of job variety and decision-making powers. This revelation about the vital role of control, or the lack thereof, in workplace stress has since become a cornerstone for subsequent research. A notable Danish study in 2008, examining data from 16 studies encompassing over 63,000 participants, identified a direct correlation between feelings of powerlessness at work and the onset of depressive episodes and symptoms. Beyond the individual toll, the broader picture points to a worrying trend for businesses and economies at large. Rampant workplace stress heralds increased absenteeism, dwindling productivity, and, by extension, a dent in the economic performance of businesses. The solution, while not simplistic, starts with a fundamental shift in how workplaces are structured. Empowering employees, fostering a sense of ownership over their tasks, and nurturing a supportive and inclusive environment are essential steps in this direction. Leaders and managers have a pivotal role to play here, not just in delegating authority, but also in actively combating toxic workplace behaviors. The message is clear: alleviating workplace stress is a win-win. It heralds a healthier, happier workforce and, in turn, paves the way for heightened productivity and business success. Part 3. Navigating the waves of stress, a double-edged sword for our bodies. Imagine our ancestors, living amidst nature in simple huts, their lives interwoven with the wild. Their stress was not sprung from looming deadlines, but from tangible dangers, like predatory threats or intercommunity skirmishes over resources. In face of such peril, our bodies evolved a remarkable defense mechanism, the stress response. This intricate biological process marshals our body's systems to ensure survival, granting us bursts of energy, enhanced strength, sharper focus, and even an increased tolerance for pain. The essence of this insight lies in understanding that stress manifests in our bodies through a two-phase process, each with its own set of impacts, both beneficial and potentially harmful. The first act of this physiological drama involves the sympathomedullary pathway, SAM, axis, triggered by the brain's hypothalamus. In moments of acute stress, this reaction propels us into the fight or flight mode, engaging our sympathetic nervous system and ushering in a flood of adrenaline. The immediate repercussions of this adrenaline rush are profound. Our heart races, blood flows abundantly to our brain and muscles, energy reserves are mobilized, and our innate immunity kicks into high gear, readying our bodies to fend off infections more effectively. Our senses sharpen, enhancing our perception of the world around us in times of crisis. Following this initial surge, the narrative deepens with the activation of the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal HPA axis, marking the second wave of the stress response. This phase sees the adrenal glands producing cortisol, acting somewhat as a moderator in this high-stakes situation. Cortisol's role is pivotal, as it tempers the adrenaline's effects, ensuring our immune system doesn't swing into an overdrive that could be self-detrimental. At this juncture, the apparent benefits of the stress response might seem tantalizing. Who wouldn't want a boost in immunity or enhanced sensory functions during moments of need? However, the plot thickens when considering the long-term ramifications. Despite its short-term merits, a persistent activation of the stress response can lead our health down a precarious path. Elevated levels of cortisol and adrenaline, while lifesavers in immediate danger, turn into potential adversaries when present in our system for prolonged periods. High cortisol can wreak havoc, leading to digestive issues, unwelcome weight changes, and memory lapses. Adrenaline, with its blood pressure elevating properties, harbors the risk of more severe consequences like heart attacks or strokes. As we venture further into understanding stress, it becomes clear that the continuous call to arms of our body's stress response has a darker side, one that underscores the importance of balancing these ancient survival mechanisms with the demands of modern living. Part 4. The hidden toll of chronic stress on our well-being. Imagine reaching the end of yet another marathon work week. The alarm rings on a Friday morning, signaling the start of your day, but all you can muster is a weary groan. The fatigue is evident. Sleepless nights have become your unwelcome companion, leaving your body sore and your spirit dwindled. Your appetite is nowhere to be found, and a relentless headache seems to be your new constant. This scenario paints a vivid picture of stress's immediate repercussions. But what dark shadows does stress cast over our health when it refuses to relent? Here lies the crux of our discussion. Chronic stress is casting a long, shadowy figure over our long-term health, shaping it in ways more profound than we might care to admit. The presence of stress in our lives is a given, an unwavering constant in an ever-changing world. Yet it's the unyielding, relentless nature of chronic stress, spanning months to years, that threatens to push us into a state of utter exhaustion, both physically and mentally. This state of perpetual siege leads to what many term as burnout. The narrative of chronic stress is not merely an abstract concept. It's a reality too many of us face, including author Richard Sutton, who navigated through his own harrowing journey of stress-induced breakdown. In 2007, as the appointed athletic director for the Chinese Olympic team, what seemed like a dream opportunity quickly spiraled into a nightmare. Enclosed within the Olympic training site's imposing walls, under constant surveillance, devoid of social media, and isolated by language barriers, Sutton's life turned excruciatingly solitary. With 70-hour work weeks being the norm, his health began to crumble under the immense pressure, a cocktail of sickness, reliance on painkillers and antibiotics, culminating in kidney damage. Sutton's ordeal is becoming a distressingly familiar tale in today's fast-paced world. An alarming number of individuals find themselves grappling with deteriorating immune, nervous, and reproductive systems, not to mention the steep climb in mental health issues. Diseases once confined to later stages of life are now encroaching upon the young, painting a grim picture of the ubiquitous challenge posed by chronic stress. In the light of such dire consequences, the notion that stress could harbor any beneficial aspects may seem far-fetched. Yet, it's essential to recognize that science supports the paradoxical role of stress. In moderation, it can indeed galvanize us towards reaching our fullest potential. As we venture deeper into the discourse on stress, let us keep an open mind to its dual-faceted nature, exploring how, within its bounds, stress harbors the power to challenge and refine us. Part 5. Turning stress into a catalyst for achievement. Picture this, the mid-2000s, with the grass court season drawing to a close. Richard Sutton, riding high from his advisory role to a leading tennis pro, returns to South Africa, unaware that a challenging situation awaits. Soon after, an injury to the athlete's shoulder turns Sutton's world upside down, setting the stage for an intense journey through stress and discovery. This story illustrates a profound truth. Small doses of stress can indeed drive us to achieve our most ambitious goals. In the thick of this ordeal, with the U.S. Open Tennis Championship looming and his professional reputation at stake, Sutton found himself propelled into an almost frenetic state of mental and physical activity. Sleep evaded him, meals went untouched, and a constant state of anxiety became his companion. Yet, paradoxically, this heightened state of stress filled him with an unyielding energy and a razor-sharp focus to solve the puzzle at hand. The breakthrough came in the form of visceral manipulation, a technique unfamiliar to Sutton until his desperate search through literature provided him with a potential lifeline. Despite his initial awkwardness in applying this newfound method, the results were nothing short of miraculous. The athlete experienced a rapid recovery, ready to step onto the court for the tournament, transformed overnight. As Sutton reflected on the whirlwind of stress that had engulfed him, he recognized an essential truth. Stress, often vilified as a purely negative force, had propelled him towards success. It was this acute exposure to stress that sharpened his resolve, fueled his creativity, and ultimately led to the triumph against the odds. This revelation aligns with scientific understanding, which posits that acute stress, short-lived and situational, carries a hidden benefit. It nudges us to adapt, to embrace risks, and to ingeniously navigate through complex problems. Far from being an enemy, stress, in controlled doses, can unlock our potential and spur us onwards to our greatest achievements. As we continue exploring the multifaceted nature of stress, it becomes clear that its power lies not just in the challenge it presents, but in the opportunities it unveils. Part 6. Embracing stress with the mindset of an athlete, a guide to holistic stress management. The allure of a professional athlete's life, with its high salaries, adoration from fans, and the sheer joy of participating in a beloved sport, can overshadow the reality of their experiences. Behind the spotlight, athletes face a gamut of challenges: grueling training schedules, team politics, pressure from coaches, and the strains of frequent travel and family separation. Yet, despite these hurdles, athletes exhibit a remarkable ability to stave off chronic stress, maintaining peak physical and mental health. What then is their secret formula? The essence of their strategy lies in a holistic approach to stress management, one that views stress not as a formidable enemy, but as a catalyst for growth. Athletes have cultivated resilience against the rigors of their professional and personal lives by fundamentally altering their perception of stress. Rather than viewing it as inherently negative, they embrace it as a positive force, a necessary pressure that can drive them towards greatness. This perspective is reinforced through the support network surrounding them, which includes coaches, trainers, and sports psychologists, all contributing to a healthy channeling of stress. Diet and physical care are integral components of an athlete's regimen, carefully curated to enhance recovery, minimize inflammation, and amplify energy levels. This approach ensures their nutritional intake is optimized, avoiding stimulants like caffeine and alcohol that can exacerbate stress. Physical maintenance extends beyond the arena of exercise. Athletes incorporate stretching, massages, and relaxation techniques such as meditation and breathing exercises into their routine. These practices aid in muscle recovery, nerve calming, and concentration enhancement, ensuring that every part of their machinery operates in harmony. The result is not only a robust resilience against stress, but also longer lifespans and reduced disease risk. So, what can you glean from this athlete-inspired blueprint for stress management? While professional massages and personalized meal plans may not fit into everyone's schedule or budget, making modest adjustments to your diet and dedicating time to relaxation can yield significant benefits. More critically, shifting your perception of stress can transform your approach to managing it. Research has shown a striking link between stress perception and health outcomes. Viewing stress as detrimental to health can significantly raise the risk of premature mortality. The implication? The added stress about being stressed can spiral into a self-fulfilling prophecy of health decline. Therefore, in moments when stress makes its inevitable appearance, resist the urge to view it as a harbinger of ill health. Instead, see it as an athlete might, a challenge to rise to, a pressure that sharpens rather than wears. In adopting this mindset, you not only mitigate the immediate effects of stress, but also harness its potential as a force for achievement and growth. Part 7. The vagus nerve, your body's built-in stress relief button. Imagine you're caught in a whirlwind of stress, with thoughts spinning out of control and concentration slipping through your fingers. The feeling is not just overwhelming, but often hampers our ability to perform even the simplest tasks. But what if you could hit a metaphorical off button for stress, helping you regain composure and clarity? That's where the intriguing potential of the vagus nerve comes into play, offering a scientific pathway to mute the chaos of stress. Here's how it works. Activating the vagus nerve is akin to discovering the body's own mechanism for dialing down stress responses. Positioned as one of the body's most extensive and influential nerves, the vagus nerve weaves its path from the cranium, behind the ears, down through the chest, and deep into the abdomen. It serves as a critical communication line between the brain and several vital organs, not least the heart and lungs, and extends its influence to the digestive system. More than just an information highway, this nerve plays a pivotal role in calming our systems after a flood of adrenaline triggers the fight-or-flight response. To understand its function, think of the vagus nerve activation as a post-workout muscle stretch. Stretching helps muscles return to their resting state, alleviating the stress of exertion. Similarly, stimulating the vagus nerve after a stressful episode can significantly lower cortisol levels, diminish inflammation, and restore mental equilibrium. Engaging in activities that activate the vagus nerve is surprisingly accessible and varied. Whether it's meditation, controlled breathing exercises, swimming, or immersing in soothing music, these practices open the door to vagal activation. Yoga, in particular, stands out as an exceptionally effective method for engaging the vagus nerve. A regular yoga routine not only slashes cortisol levels by an impressive 40%, but also brings a comprehensive set of benefits. Yoga encompasses breathing exercises, deep relaxation techniques, meditation, and physical postures, offering a holistic approach to stress management. It's a practice that not only mitigates stress, but also fosters physical strength, flexibility, and emotional wellness. In summary, the tools to switch off stress are not just within our reach, but are embedded within our own physiology. When stress threatens to overwhelm, remember that activities like yoga, swimming, or simple breathing exercises can offer a sanctuary of calm by activating the vagus nerve. This understanding grants us not just the knowledge, but the power to reassert control over our mental state, turning what might feel like an endless storm into a manageable breeze. Part 8. The Trio of Wellness: Diet, Exercise, and Nature's embrace our environment, what we consume, and how we move through the world significantly affect our stress levels. The author's experience of spending months indulging in sedentary activities and unhealthy food choices before a significant life event is a testament to this. The lack of energy, irritability, and plummet in fitness levels he faced perfectly illustrate how detrimental such a lifestyle can be to our stress management capabilities. Here lies a crucial insight. Our dietary habits, physical activity, and time spent outdoors are pivotal in maintaining a balanced stress response. The cycle of stress is self-perpetuating. The more we succumb to it, the more our body's essential hormones deplete, spiraling into a state where our health, cognitive functions, and overall vitality dwindle, thereby inviting even more stress into our lives. Breaking this cycle, then, requires us to rejuvenate these hormones and bolster our body's resilience against stress. Embarking on this path to resilience doesn't necessitate a complete overhaul of your lifestyle overnight. Instead, it's about making thoughtful, incremental changes. On the dietary front, reducing the intake of stress-aggravating substances like coffee and alcohol is a good starting point. These substances spike cortisol levels and trigger adrenaline rushes, further fueling the stress cycle. Conversely, incorporating green tea and cocoa into your diet can have protective and stabilizing effects on the stress response. These simple swaps can fortify the immune, nervous, and cardiovascular systems, all of which are particularly vulnerable to the ravages of chronic stress. Exercise emerges as another potent antidote to stress, with its capacity to rejuvenate brain functionality and set off a cascade of hormonal changes that revitalize our bodies. Activities such as high-intensity aerobic workouts not only bolster our physical well-being, but are also linked with cognitive improvements, owing to their ability to enhance the production of brain cells through the increase of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BFNF. Furthermore, the mere act of stepping outdoors for a brief walk, especially under the nurturing glow of the sun, can wield considerable benefits. Sunlight, in moderate doses, has been celebrated for its mood-lifting and immune system-boosting properties. The journey toward building stress resilience is just that, a journey. It requires patience, commitment, and a willingness to embrace gradual improvements. By incorporating better food choices, regular exercise, and the healing touch of nature into our lives, we pave the way to a stress-resilient lifestyle. Remember, each step forward, no matter how small, is a step towards a balanced and healthful state of being, safeguarded against the storms of stress. Final summary. In the unavoidable whirlwind of stress that life often throws our way, it's crucial to remember that not all is lost. Stress, when understood and managed correctly, can actually be a force for good. The insights shared here revolve around the idea that with the right approach, stress doesn't have to be the enemy. It can, in fact, be a powerful ally in our quest for growth and achievement. First and foremost, it's about fostering resilience by gradually modifying our lifestyle to better accommodate stress. This means adopting healthier eating habits, engaging in regular physical activity, and ensuring we spend enough time in nature. Such changes don't need to be drastic. Even small adjustments can make a significant difference in how we experience and manage stress. Another crucial strategy involves understanding and activating the body's natural mechanisms for mitigating stress, such as engaging the vagus nerve. Practices like meditation, controlled breathing, and yoga can effectively decrease our stress response, leading to a more balanced and calm state of mind. However, perhaps the most essential shift needs to happen in our perception of stress itself. Instead of viewing stress as an inherently negative force, we can start to see it as a catalyst for growth and a motivator for achieving our goals. This perspective not only helps us manage stress more effectively, but can also transform the challenges it presents into opportunities for personal and professional development. In summary, managing stress isn't just about reducing it, it's about harnessing it. Through deliberate lifestyle choices, engaging in activities that activate our natural stress relief mechanisms, and re-evaluating our perception of stress, we can turn what often feels like an overwhelming force into a powerful tool for achieving our fullest potential. Thank you for joining me today on this journey of learning and discovery as we explored the insights of another thought-provoking book in our growing library of knowledge. If you've enjoyed our time together, please take a moment to follow our podcast, give us a 5-star rating, and share 20-minute books with other knowledge seekers. Your support truly means a lot. Don't forget to join me again in the next episode, where we will delve into another enriching book. Until then, happy reading and happy listening.